Like, I know there's hope for lung cancer patients. Where do we start here?
Yeah, I think this is very exciting. For the first time in a quarter century, and the first time in my medical career since I started in medical school, the first approval for a limited stage small cell lung cancer, which is really a curative attempt, an attempt to remove the cancer from the body permanently. And we've seen the advent of immunotherapy with Imfinzi, an FDA-approved agent in December of 2024 based on the Adriatic trial. We basically compared in this trial standard of care chemotherapy radiation against chemotherapy radiation plus Imfinzi immunotherapy, and we've seen a tremendous improvement in survival. Average patient live about 2 years longer, and we've seen a higher percentage of patients that maintain these durable responses. So a very exciting time in limited stage small cell lung cancer where we haven't seen any movement for such a long time. We don't have much other options currently for those patients. So this was an immediate evolution of the standard of care to include Imfinzi as one of the treatment options.
Yeah, excited to hear that there is some treatment available. Let's talk about some of the challenges when you want to treat these patients with this form of cancer. What can you tell us about those challenges?
Well, I think there are a number of challenges. One is the aggressive nature of the disease and the high propensity to spread to other parts of the body, which is really the main concern we have with cancer. So we're dealing with a very aggressive subtype for which the options were previously limited to chemotherapy alone. The second one is related to the treatments itself. Obviously, we all have an idea about the side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, but like any other drug, Imfinzi or durvalumab comes with side effect that we have to be keenly aware of. So we really always want to ensure that patients have the opportunity to learn as much as possible about their disease, but also as much as possible about their treatments. And one of the ways to do this, obviously speak to your treating physician, to your treatment care team, whoever is involved in ensuring that you are receiving standard of care. And also online resources. There's a drug webpage called imfinzi.com. I think that's a very good starting point that's reviewed by the FDA, very objective data that really has the full spectrum of benefit and risks included in this process, explains how the immunotherapy works. But it's also a first starting point from which you can go onto other reputable websites to inform about the treatment and the disease in general.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned some of those web pages that people can go and do some research, or all those other forms of, or outlets, I should say, where you can go and educate yourself, because I only have you here for about 5 to 10 minutes. I know you could go on and on about this topic, but what is the main takeaway here that you want our viewers to take away?
Well, my main message, and you mentioned the word earlier, and I can't hear it enough, is hope. I think the improvements that we've seen in partnership with AstraZeneca as our therapeutic developer of Imfinzi in limited stage small cell lung cancer, a disease that not very many invest a lot of effort in because it's so difficult to treat, to bring this communication message to your listenership. That's really the main take home. It's important to assemble a good team of physicians around you that help you, guide you, inform you, and help you choose the right treatment. And then to empower yourself with education, because there is hope at the end of the treatment course. There are new options that are available, and I think patients should be able to take advantage of them as soon as possible.
There is hope. I love to hear that. That's Dr. Martin Dietrich joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Thanks so much for stopping by to have this very important conversation. We'll see ya.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, welcome back. Bringing you another traffic alert this morning. We are staying on top of that accident along I-55. This is in Arkansas here as you're passing south of Turl there from mile marker 17. That's Clarkdale Road. This is all due to an early morning accident. I want to actually show you some video we have of that accident. This is video sent in to us, and you can see the visibility here is just not the best. That high wind just bringing in dust, I believe, and it's just really hard to see. And I think that's what led to that accident, which is now leading to a major backup along I-55. So this is what you're seeing. Those of you traveling in that southbound direction, you will be diverted off the interstate onto Clarkdale Road. That's mile marker 17. Again, this is a southbound direction. So those of you who usually maybe travel along this direction to get into Memphis coming inbound this morning. So there's no ETA on when those lanes will reopen for you. You can see from this view that emergency crews are still on the scene, blocking those lanes and forcing traffic off the interstate. When we get an update, when things open up for us, of course, we'll let you know. But for now, this is what you can expect. Heavy backup, visibility not the best still. You can see some of that dust blowing through this RDOT camera here. And as the camera continues to move around, it just doesn't look too good. Traffic is starting to stack up in that area. Again, this is I-55 in Arkansas in that southbound direction as you're approaching mile marker 17 near Clarkdale Road. Plan ahead for your morning commute. The time now is 10:40. We're going to take another break and we'll be back in the next 60 seconds.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. There's a question out there that many people ask. Who pays when Memphis police work special events, be it a concert, a Grizzlies game, some other kind of special event? Who pays that bill? Is it MPD? Is it the entity or organization, or is it taxpayers? Let's bring in our friend Sam Hardiman with the Daily Memphian. He covers a number of different issues downtown, the government reporter and City Hall. He spends a lot of time in, and he asked that question. In fact, it was the latest piece that he and his colleagues at the Daily Memphian have revealed. And, you know, Sam, good morning to you. I guess there's would be an assumption that the entity or the organization that is having that special event would pay the bulk of it. But based upon your investigation, that's not entirely true, right? Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, thanks, Andrew, for having me on. Yeah, it appears that MPD is not actually very good at billing the entities that receive special event security. So first, you can find this article at thedailymemphian.com, or dailymemphian.com, I'm sorry. And, you know, what we really found is MPD last year, and this is calendar year 2024, so we only have 1 year of data. This has obviously been going on for decades, right? And MPD just didn't start working special events yesterday. And so what is really interesting about that is in that 1 year data, there's a whole, like, you can give the figure from the article, but there's a whole number of events and percentage of the $1.3 million in MPD overtime. MPD isn't even billing the entity for. They're just eating the cost, which means taxpayers are eating the cost. And so while $1.3 million is not very much in a $300+ million MPD budget, where they budget $32 million for overtime, every little bit counts, and every little dollar that comes back to MPD from an entity is money that taxpayers can have in services somewhere else.
How much are taxpayers on are footing the bill? I mean, how much are they on this account here? I mean, when it comes to, let's just say 2024.
2024, it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. MPD, I think, collected a little more than I think 400 grand. Check the article. My brain is a little foggy this morning. In terms of payments from those entities, so really, it's almost $1 million last year that MPD just ate, which means taxpayers just ate for special events, and a lot of the money that's getting eaten is sporting events and concerts, and so that means really a lot of downtown man hours are not being paid for by the entities that need the security. And there's obviously this argument maybe that this is economic growth, this is economic impact, etc. But this is a decent amount of money that's getting eaten by taxpayers here.
Man, and it seems based upon your article, Sam, that even MPD admits, hey, listen, we need a better policy when it comes to this stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me? Or did I just mute myself?
Yes. No, I can hear you. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. MPD, the presentation we obtained at the Daily Memphian, makes very clear that MPD is looking for a better policy. They've been facing pressure from the Memphis City Council recently, who has taken a real shine to the MPD budget and the overtime budget. And MPD in this presentation concluded essentially saying we need a clear policy so that when we actually send bills to people, because a big part of this is it's just bills not even being sent to the entities, right? This isn't just, people aren't paying. It is MPD is not sending. And then the department also wants a clear collections process, meaning like, okay, we've sent an invoice. Here's how we actually get paid for that invoice, which is something private business does every day.
Yeah. Wow. That is infuriating to, I'm sure, a number of different taxpayers there. That it's just a matter of billing that entity and going through, I guess, the collection process. You mentioned earlier that it's Memphis City Council that is shining a light on MPD's budget. Do you expect this or anticipate it coming up sometime soon, in particular for the budget season?
Absolutely. I mean, the Memphis City Council is going to set the budget tomorrow. Not set the budget, I'm sorry. Everyone calm down. They're going to set their hearings for the budget tomorrow, which means we'll actually have a process as to how taxpayer money is going to get allocated this year. And I would expect when MPD comes before the council, which will be a long, dry meeting sometime in April or early May, we are going to see some real scrutiny of this, because there was some scrutiny almost a month ago when the last time the Memphis City Council met, which was in mid-February. Had quite the long break here. And we'll definitely see something about this. I've heard from council people this morning. I'm not going to say who, but I've definitely heard from several this morning who read the article and were like, wow, we're going to be talking about this. And so it definitely is going to happen, because every little, again, this is not a large amount of money in terms of an $800 million city budget, a $300 million MPD budget, or even the overtime budget. But when, it costs, say, $1 million, $500,000 to resurface the playground, right? And MPD is, eating $800,000, $900,000 for the overtime every year. Well, if they're not eating that overtime, right, maybe that playground gets paid for with a certain amount of money that isn't debt or something like that, or services that MPD, needs, for example, whether it's uniforms, whether it's, bullets, whether it's, anything that can be paid for by this money. And so every dollar saved is another dollar in taxpayer services. And that's really important.
No question about it, and also just it's so frustrating that it's not working out the way that it's supposed to. I guess Anything else you want to mention to our viewers that are watching right now?
No, I understand.
Not too early in the morning to talk about barbecue, right? Well, if you're in the mood for it, let's talk about it. So much to look forward to leading up to this summer, May 15th through the 17th, a big festival coming in town. I'm talking about the Smoke Slam, the world's ultimate barbecue showdown. And here joining me this morning, my friends Patrick Galfin, Director of Teams and Competition, and Mike Smith, Head of Production. Patrick, let me just start with you because I've been practicing this last name. What is your last name? Did I get that correctly?
It's Golfin, but yeah, close enough.
Golfin. Okay, got it. Well, Patrick and Mike, thank you so much for joining us on the digital desk. Let's just jump right into it. This is the second year for the Smoke Slam. What are we thinking? What are we looking forward to this year?
We're super excited to be hosting this event again. We had a great time last year. We've expanded our team count this year. I'll let Patrick talk about that a little bit. But a lot of the same elements that we had last year are coming back, but some of it's going to be even bigger and better.
I like that. I like that. So I'm just reading about the big competition, and I know we have 75 teams competing. How do we assemble all of these teams to come and participate?
With over 70 teams going to be there, we've really taken the time to look at how we can load these teams in the park, how they best will fit, to make it a great experience for all the teams. Again, that's more teams than we had last year, so we've been really excited to see that increase, and just excited about having all these people down back on the river again with us for year 2 of Smoke Slam. Teams are excited. I'm really building the culture around a team first approach to being down on the river.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's just we're seeing this competition just continue to grow. Last year, I know we have about 70 teams this year. How many teams did we have last year?
We had just under 60 teams last year.
Wow. Okay. So I love to see how this is continuing to grow over the years. Let's talk about how this is just an event for the entire family to come. Not only can you just get a lot of great barbecue, but it also music, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We hope this is a huge family-friendly event. The music is great each day. It's a little different, kind of curated to attract different audiences each day. But it's a lot of family fun stuff with the Ferris wheel, the carnival rides. We've got great music talent this year. Thursday, we've got Shane Smith and the Saints, big up and coming country artist. You've probably seen him on Yellowstone and heard his music on Yellowstone. Friday night, we've got the Revivalist with local great Southern Avenue and the MDs and John B. And Saturday, big country act, Big and Rich, along with some local acts, Neon Mooners and Serena Wages. So a lot of good music, a lot of stuff to do. Everyone that comes gets to eat barbecue for free, part of our live fire event. Some of the best pit masters in the world are preparing food that everyone gets to try as you go through the park. And just, a little bit of something for everybody. Again, the fun, the games, lots of activities for everyone.
Sounds like a perfect way to spend your summer. I know you said we have a lot of big names. Can you mention some of the barbecue legends who will be participating this year? And Patrick or Mike, either of you can jump on this question.
So in the live fire area, we've got some famous pitmasters like Al Fragoni, Thyron Matthews will be in there. Some of those guys. Then we've got some great local teams like our last year's grand champion is coming back, Smoke Masters. We have Tin Bones Barbecue. Then just a lot of other great teams from all over the country. I think we have teams coming in from 17 different states and 2 different countries. So we've got teams literally traveling from all over to come and compete with us and be down on the river and really experience the culture that we're building around Smoke Slam.
They are certainly coming to the right spot then for that. So let's get people there. Let's talk about tickets. Where can they go to purchase tickets? And I know this is a 3-day event, but kind of talk about for those who just want to get a single-day ticket. Where do they go and how do they purchase it?
Yeah, you can go to smokeslam.com and follow the path to purchase tickets. There are 3-day tickets, which have a greater discount if you purchase the 3-day ticket than the single-day ticket, but you can purchase single-day tickets as well. There's also VIP tickets for purchase, which gets you an escalated experience in the VIP areas, which would include private restrooms, private bars, things like that. So smokeslam.com has all the info you need to get you there.
Smokeslam.com. Writing that down now. Patrick and Mike, was there anything else that you wanted to add that I did not ask you?
I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention Melissa Cookston, our great barbecue host of the whole event. She's been amazing to work with, and we really appreciate her being part of our team and helping push this event to even greater levels.
All righty, sounds good. Well, Patrick and Mike, thanks so much for stopping by the Action News 5 digital desk. We look forward to seeing you in person in May at the Smoke Slam. I'll see you guys. Alrighty, that wraps it up for us here on the Action News 5 digital desk. The time now is 10:53. Coming up in your 11 o'clock hour is Action News 5 midday with Jerry Askin and First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. And remember, today is a First Alert weather day, so make sure you check in for your latest weather updates. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, kicking off at 7 a.m.